What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a couple of spicy duels for you guys to check out featuring World Chalice. It's going to be facing off against Trickstar in these duels, and this is actually really interesting because I still believe that most people, when they think about World Chalice, they think of, YCS Bokum, the deck that came out of nowhere, shocked the world, won the biggest at the time, Yu-Gi-Oh! Event in European history, and it did it pretty much off the back of Firewall Dragon. You combine that with the ability to get a Gamecill on board, and it wasn't quite the extra link, but it was still some damn powerful boards. You have negation from maybe a Tri-Gate Wizard, a Firewall Disruption, and then also a Walking Solemn Judgment and Gamecill, and you definitely have a lot of power turn one. This build is going to be doing a little bit different plays, and I know that he has the ability to do all the plays that we saw at Bokum, the plays that defined World Chalice, but he's pretty much just going to be going for a lot of simplified plays, and it's just going to flat out work. So facing off against Trickstars, again, this is a 2 out of 3, and let's see exactly how game one's going to go. So Trickstars get to go first, and he does open with double reincarnation plus desires. I honestly think you shouldn't lose. That's a really good opening. I mean, seriously, you open with desires, Candina, and double reincarnation, plus you still got Lycoris. Like, well, come on, man, you got to win that duel. Now, I'm not a big fan of summoning Lycoris in defense mode, although I see a lot of Trickstar players do it. I just personally don't like it, but I understand why people do it. So now he's racking up the burn damage. He does not go for the he doesn't just rip the reincarnation. Instead, Venus is hit with Solemn Strike. Unfortunately, he's got a Monster Reborn set, and he did set a bunch of his spells because he thought reincarnation was going to be a problem. He obviously, his opponent searched it, so he's like, look, I gotta set these cards, Cap. If I don't want to lose him, I don't have any way of stopping it. And now he's able to, basically go on the M-Duck and go for his basic World Chalice plays. And I don't really think that there is much disruption when it comes from the Trickstar player. All of his cards are basically reincarnations. Now, he still has the ability to get that burn damage, and he is going to go ahead and rip one reincarnation there, get a little more burn damage. And, I think that he's in the danger, well, no, not in the danger zone quite yet. Now, I think that he's going to go for, he goes for Ningirasu at this point, and this is really smart. Look at the way that he has linked these monsters off, but Ningirasu is actually going to be chain link 1, which is important because it allows him to summon Lee from his hand. Now guess what? The Ningirasu is going to resolve, and look what is around Ningirasu. 1, 2, 3. He's going to be able to draw 3 cards. That's basically a brand new hand. Now he is taking burn damage from this, so keep in mind he kind of wants to not draw too many cards, but he is doing really well. His opponent does activate that second reincarnation, but don't you know he just drew an Ash Blossom, and he should be able to do almost game here, but his opponent does have that Scapegoat, so anytime you got Scapegoat, you have the ability to get back in the game. But look at this back row. I don't want to... Seriously, what is a Scapegoat going to do against a Solemn Judgment, a Bottomless Trap Hole, an Evac Device, and a Heavy Storm Duster? This man knows how to play defense. I love it when people play defense well. That is a hell of a lineup, but he's not going to give up here. He definitely knows he has to, link summon in the 4 back row. But he does have double reincarnation in the grave. Nightmare Phoenix gets jebaited. He hits the evac. That was so unfortunate because let's just say he would have targeted, I don't know, the Bottomless Trap Hole. That would have at least gotten that out of the way. But when you do link summon in the 4 back row, you really shouldn't expect anything good to happen. You should kind of expect the worst. Trickstar reincarnation is activated. He brings back Lycoris. She gets Bottomless. And then when he goes for the Nightmare Phoenix, or the Cerberus, that ends up getting hit with Solemn Judgment. Now, if he can find a way, because he still has that Eater of Millions, can he potentially pull this off? And he has Lily Bell. Both of these players are under 2,000 life points. This can still be pulled off. He can still win this duel. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Oh man, I don't know if I agree with that. He attacks into the Ningirasu, which I kind of get it. You want to get that off the field. It's the biggest monster, but that doesn't allow you to do any battle damage. And I don't know, man. This guy is 1600, so no, I guess it, it doesn't matter because he wasn't going to be able to destroy anything, or he wasn't going to be able to do any battle damage anyways. He does go for Topologic Trisbenia. And main phase 2, I'm not quite sure of that. He is going to use Ash Blossom to at least stop one of the searches, but with him having Saryuja Skull Dread on board and then activating the effect to special summon, gain 300 attack, that is the end of duel 1. Yeah, that was my bad. I for some reason I thought it had more attack than it did. Even if he would have needed like another Desire's worth of banished cards, another like 10 cards to actually be able to do something. Because I'm like, wait a minute, if he does some battle damage here with Eater of Millions, and then he does some battle damage with Trickstar Lily Bill, he might have been in good position. And he did add the Candina to his hand because he didn't have a Lycoris. His Lycoris got banished from the Bottomless, which is that's just a rough play. But we're going to game 2. And game 2 will be, I think it'll be a little less eventful than game 1. I don't think it's quite as good. Once again, Trickstar are going first, but I don't know about this. My man not only left in Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, but apparently left in multiple copies. I don't even know if this card is going to be useful against his deck. Like, yeah, maybe if you're playing against the Firewall spam version, you could just get rid of Firewall Dragon, but we didn't see him summon any Link 4s in that first duel, so I'm not sure if that's going to work. Now, he has a decent feel because he still has Ogre, he still has Impermanence, so those are disruptive cards he can use against his opponent, and his opponent did not open up Venus, so he uses Monster Reborn. This time he is going to try to get rid of the M-Duck, and he actually does a pretty good job. His opponent doesn't do much of anything, just attacks the Lycoris, sets a Solemn Strike in his back row, which Solemn Strike generally not good against Trickstars because, you know, Light Stage locks it down, which he just did. And I think he drew another copy of Candina, which was terrible, but at least he has the ability to start using those Lilybells. Start using Lilybell, get Lycoris on field. He gets rid of the Solemn for a +1, and he is still doing a little bit of burn damage. So if his opponent activates any spells or traps, which he doesn't have, but he is adding cards to his hand, so he is doing a decent amount of burn damage. But he should expect, if he can get a good Ghost Ogre off, maybe he can probably get through this turn. He uses it on I can never Arum, that's his name. I can never remember his name. I always remember him from what was the set? Extreme Force. I remember that one, the Mech Knight Avram, that one, but I can't remember his blue form. This one right here. He is going to go battle phase with Avram and then the copy of Ib, and I think that this simplified game state actually benefits Trickstars because he's not popping off, and he did just get a power card. He got a Scapegoat, and unlike in the last duel, he doesn't have like 5 back row to stop the Scapegoat. He basically has nothing right here, so let's see if he can dig himself out of the hole with the Scapegoat. Lilybell is used for Lycoris, so he should be able to bounce. He's going to special summon it again. Now, I thought he was going to go for Holly Angel in main phase 2. I thought that it would have made the most sense because the thing is, at least when Holly Angel dies, you can like summon it back from the graveyard with Reincarnation. He instead goes for Nightmare Cerberus. Are Trickstar players just not playing Holly Angel or what? Because I always assumed you play at least one copy of Holly Angel. It's a pretty good card, and his opponent just drew the world legacy hearts, and he activates it. Then he activates the Inheritor, that Monster Reborn. Now he's going for an Ningirsu, and this might throw a little bit of a monkey wrench in his plans because as the first duel, he is going to summon it and draw 3 cards. That is no, I think he only drew 2 cards, but it's definitely a lot of cards. Now he has an open field, but he has Scapegoat. This time he will have to activate Scapegoat to block an attack. Otherwise, he would have died. He had 800 more damage than necessary. But if you look at the board, he's still okay. He has 3 Scapegoat tokens, and he has the Trickstar Candina. He can lock down the back row, which he does. He goes for Mrs. Radiant, goes for Link Spider, and then goes for Topologic Trisbenia. Bro, where is the Borolo Dragon? Where's the Boral Sword Dragons? I don't know if I understood that play, going for Topologic Trisbenia, because if he could have maybe gone for Borolo Dragon, right? And then he could have snatched stolen this and then activated the effect, giving up his Reincarnation. Then he would have had Reincarnation in the graveyard. He could have used it. Like, I'm not sure that this Trickstar guy is sober. I think he might be trolling, especially because what he did right there was he attacked with Trisbenia into Ningirsu, the World Chalice, but he forgot about World Legacy's Heart, which can prevent a monster being destroyed by battle. That's why you should have went for Borolo Dragon. I don't really get that at all. And we know he plays a Borolo Dragon too because he used Ghost Reaper, and he revealed Borolo Dragon so that his opponent wouldn't use it. Now he is going to have to use that last ditch effort, the Reincarnation, but he doesn't have any other resources left. So I think that this game is pretty much a wrap. He can summon Trickstar Candina. Actually, oh no, I was going to say, he could have actually lived through that turn by using Impermanence on Ningirisu's effect, but the problem is, Evac is coming in hot, man. People be sleeping on Evac. See, Evac used to be a card that was limited to 1. I still think Evac is such a fantastic card, and when you need to punch through for damage, it is the card you're looking for. So, he is going to use Impermanence, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any way of defending himself. I actually think the first duel, I think Trickstar just lost. I think there wasn't much you could do about it. When he activated Scapegoat and he had all them back row, I think the back row were just going to take over. But in game 2, if he goes for a Borolo Dragon play, I feel like he takes Ningirasu, he sets the reincarnation, he blows up the reincarnation, he gets rid of one of his opponent's other monsters on field, and I think that he can kind of ride that out, knowing that he has, at the very least, like he still has a fail-safe with his Gozen match, and Borlo plus Gozen match is pretty deadly. I think that he would have been able to make it so his opponent could never get over the Borlo dragon, and maybe that could have actually won him the duel. And he had what, a Solemn Strike? No, he had a bottomless set. No, actually, I guess if he got the evac, it wouldn't have mattered, because he just would have evac Borlo dragon, and that would have been a wrap. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And actually, let's just go ahead and throw in the deck profile really quickly. The video was already 10 minutes anyways. Loving the trap lineup. My man is all about playing defense. You hardly ever see a lot of trap cards ran in World Challenge. A lot of people don't even run traps at all, or they run like the Phantom Knights of Brigadine, just like one card. But he is running 10 different cards, got a full solemn lineup, not running multiple copies of Strike, but still has 3 different solemns for multiple purposes. I still love Heavy Stone Duster. I think this card is fantastic. I like it in my Altar, guys, because I feel like it's great against pendulums, crack a full scale. You can still use it against other back row decks, like in against Altar guys or Border Patrol. Really solid against field spells, which most of the aggressive decks use field spells. The only deck it's kind of useless against is something like Goki, but every other matchup it's pretty damn good. Also good against Sky Strikers. He's got the bottomless trap holes. He does have some evacs in here, maxing out on both of those. Definitely like those really strong reactive traps. He has a bunch of World Legacy cards, Succession and Heart. These cards are searchable, even if you're not running Soul Charge, as this build is, I think this build is a lot less explosive. Even when you look at his extra deck, there is no, there's no Tri-Gate Wizard, there is no, any Nightmare monsters, so he's not really expecting to do any extra linking, but, I still think that you should run Succession, even if you're not running Soul Charge, because Succession is a searchable card. So, just a nice little interesting take, the one random Ash Blossom, though, which actually came in handy against that reincarnation, but definitely an interesting defensive take on World Chalice.